Hey everyone, so I just switched up my everyday makeup drawer for, I was going to say spring, but I guess just for like the next few months for May and June. So if you're new to these videos, I've been using this specific drawer as a way to kind of focus on some older favorites, just shop my stash. And it's been my goal for 2023 to really rotate through all of my makeup. With the exception of like wearing every single lip product and every single eyeshadow palette, I feel like I've already gotten to most of the products and it's only May. So it's been a really nice way to rediscover older favorites and then just kind of focus on what I have. I do buy new makeup, I review new makeup here on my channel, but honestly, I feel like it's important just to focus on what you have as well because you spent your money on it. The products are great and it's just nice to use them and not let them just sit in a drawer and go to waste. So for these videos, I usually focus on older favorites and not so much like the newest launches and just show you what I'm currently using and loving. These are things that I'll be really reaching for over the next few months. Let me start with Complexion products, but if you're only interested in a certain category or you want to skip ahead, like skip Complexion products and jump to cheek products, just check the description box below for timestamps. Okay, let's start with face primers. I have two that I'll be using for the next few months or really focusing on. The first one is from e.l.f. It's the Power Grip Primer, but this one has 4% niacinamide. I do like this one better than the original one. I mean, the original one's great. You can't go wrong with either one, but I find that this one makes my skin just look extra smooth and extra glowy while also locking my makeup into place all day. Like there is a noticeable difference when I use this product versus when I skip it or use a different primer. Like if I want my makeup to last and not move by the end of the day, this is what I use. This is the Skin Smoothie Radiant Glow Primer. I really like this one too. The e.l.f. primer is glowy, but in a different way. Like there's no shimmer, there's no like pearly sheen. It just gives your skin like that natural hydrated glow. Whereas this one almost has like a really pretty pearly finish. I applied a little bit too much, like this is probably how much I would use for my entire face, but you'll get the picture. See how it just has like that beautiful glow to it? It almost has like a little bit of like a pinky tint. And I like the texture of this because it's very lightweight and hydrating, but it also just gives the skin a very smooth finish. So this has been one of my favorites for a few months as well. So I'm just putting this in my drawer too. So I do also have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I use the shade Fair. The way that I typically use this is by mixing it in with my foundations. I feel like that is my perfect use of this product instead of using it as an actual primer, but it also looks great as a liquid highlighter as well. So I have been mixing it in with my Catrice foundation quite a bit. This is the True Skin Hydrating Foundation. This is my go-to. I'm sure if you watch my videos, you're probably sick of hearing me talk about this, but this is my favorite foundation of all time. So this is pretty much always in here, although I did run out of it, and in my last drawer, I didn't actually include it. I was kind of focusing on other foundations. So it was nice to switch it up, but it is a very long-lasting formula, and it just looks good, so that's why I have it in here. And then during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty, I did grab the Tarte Face Tape Foundation, and I love this formula. It's very long-wearing, but very thin. Like it doesn't feel like you're wearing a heavy foundation, even though the coverage is really nice. I have the shade 16N Fair Light Neutral, and because this one is a little bit too light right now, I feel like during the summer it might not be ideal, but I'll probably grab a darker shade and just mix them together. But I just love this. It has a nice matte finish, but it looks smooth. It just has a really beautiful texture to it. So I've been enjoying this one a lot. I actually have this product in my drawer last time I switched it up. I think that was back in March, and I really love it. I'm so glad I put it in my everyday makeup drawer because I feel like I started using it more and more. And again, it's just been nice to rediscover this older product that was just kind of sitting in my collection. This is Urban Decay's Hydromaniac. I have the shade 30 Light. I feel like this is actually a really ideal shade for me. It's basically like a very hydrating foundation. I guess like a medium coverage foundation. It looks really good on the skin. It definitely has a glow to it. It's not something I typically wear on its own because I do feel like it will break down on me after a few hours because my skin is more oily, but it's great to mix in with other products. Or if my skin is a little bit more dry and it's cold out, I'll wear this product because it will last a little bit longer, but it just applies so nicely. Like it's a very smooth, even product. I usually just apply it with my fingers and blend it in. And then I have this product from Tower 28. It's the Sunny Days Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30, and I have the shade 15 Melrose. So it's basically like a tinted sunscreen. I usually end up wearing this product over my sunscreen if I am interested in wearing it because it does even out the skin. It actually, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a medium coverage product at all. It's definitely more of like a light coverage product, but I feel like it looks really good. Like it definitely adds an intense glow. So it's not something I'll wear all the time. Usually I will just apply this with my fingers and then set it into place with powder, but I do think it does end up looking really pretty on the skin. On like those quick, easy days, if we're going to the park and I want to wear makeup, but I don't want to wear foundation, I'll throw this on. Okay, so I have 3 concealers in here. I actually had a few more and then I was like, I need this to be a little bit more realistic. I don't want to have like a ton of options to choose from, so I just narrowed it down to these 3. I've been wearing this one quite a bit. I'll swatch them at the end for you, but this is the Flower Beauty Get Real Serum Concealer. I have the shade Vanilla. This looks really good on the skin. It definitely has like a nice creamy texture, but it's not overly hydrating like some other formulas I've tried. I would say the Kosas concealer is definitely more on the hydrating side. This one is in the shade 3.5W. And then I have the Makeup Revolution IRL Filter Finish in the shade C6. This one is a little bit more of like a true matte concealer. It's very lightweight, but it also looks really smooth on the skin. So on the left is Flower Beauty Vanilla, in the center is Kosas 3.5W, and then on the right is Makeup Revolution C6. So as you can tell, the one in the center, the Kosas one, has like the most intense glow to it. I definitely think that is the most hydrating formula. Flower Beauty is hydrating, but it has more of a satin finish. So I think that one's more ideal if you want like a long-lasting finish. And then Makeup Revolution, once it dries down, it is more of like a true matte finish. But they're all great. I reach for them for different reasons. I pair them with different foundations, so it's nice to have a few options in here. I do have a few powders in here. This has been my favorite lately. It's from Haus Labs. This is their Bio Blurring Powder. I think that's the official name. Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder. I have the shade Translucent. This is really nice. It's very lightweight, really natural on the skin, but I do find that it provides like a nice blur to the skin. So usually I'll use this with more of a light coverage product or more of a hydrating product so it doesn't really erase all of the glow. Like I might pair this with the Kosas concealer or like the Urban Decay product or the Tower 28 product. It's not going to lock my makeup into place all day, but it lightly sets everything without taking away the glow. The Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Powder is probably like my favorite powder when it comes to the texture. The only issue with this is it's a little bit darker than my skin tone. This is the only shade they make, so it would be really nice for them to come out with additional shades and maybe have some lighter options, some darker options, because the quality of this product is so good. It is like the thinnest, lightest, just like most finely milled powder I've ever tried. So I love the way it goes on, but it gives your skin like, it really does make your skin look filtered. I did pick up the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder during the Sephora VIP sale. I've been using this. It is good. It really is, but I don't think it's $48 good. I just feel like it's hard to justify when there are so many great options that are more affordable. So I love it. I'll continue to use it. I think it looks really good. I typically reserve it for like under my eyes, but I don't think I'll be repurchasing it. And then I put the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder in here. This one's in the shade Fair 4. I haven't really used this like all year long. This is definitely more of a mattifying powder, something that I would probably reach for more during the summertime. So I figured I would throw this in here as well and then maybe use it once it's a little bit warmer out and my skin is like extra oily. So that is it for complexion products. Let's talk about cheek products. So I have a few highlighters in here. I don't know, I haven't been on like a big highlighter kick lately. I've really just been using my Rare Beauty highlighters. So my favorite one is in the shade Exhilarate. I feel like I could truthfully like get rid of every single highlighter I own and just keep this one because I love the way this looks on the skin. I can't get enough of it. I feel like I've been raving about it so much, but it really is so beautiful. I got the shade Mesmerized during the Sephora VIP sale and I like this one, but I don't know. I don't like it quite as much as Exhilarate. The shade is really pretty, but I feel like that is my perfect shade in the perfect formula. So sometimes when I wear this, I almost wish I wore the shade Exhilarate. I don't know if I had a lot of other powder highlighters in my everyday makeup drawer, but I took pretty much all of the other highlighters out except for this one from Flower Beauty. This is the Spotlight Liquid Highlighter in the shade Opal. This is my favorite liquid highlighter. I know everyone's coming out with like these squeeze tube type highlighters these days. I've been testing out the formulas from e.l.f. and I don't know. I think I like the highlighters best out of the 3 formulas, but I don't like them as much as Flower Beauty. I think the blushes are maybe a little bit patchy. And the liquid bronzers or liquid contours, I can't remember how they market them. They're fine, but I don't know. I'm not sold on that formula yet. So I'll keep you updated in an upcoming video. I do like the low light liquid contour from Flower Beauty as well. This one's in the shade Light. I know some people said they have issues with this drying down too fast and it looks patchy on them, but I've never thought this looked patchy on my skin. Like it always looks very even, really, really smooth. I do have this blush from Flower Beauty. This is their Gel Crush Lip and Cheek. This is gorgeous. I really think this will be a favorite of mine during the summertime. I have the shade Peach Crush, but look at the glow. It just looks so pretty. If you're someone who wants like a one and done cheek product, this is perfect because it adds the glow of a highlighter, but also like the color of a blush. It's really pretty. Sometimes I'll just apply this and even skip bronzer as well. I think the rest of my blushes are powder blushes except for my 3 Rare Beauty blushes. So the light pink one is Hope, the center one is Encourage, and then the right one, the like orangey coral, is Joy. I've been wearing these on their own because they just blend out in seconds, honestly. They're so easy to apply, but I've also been wearing them under my Essence blushes. I feel like that's the perfect combo. These Essence blushes are also great on their own. Like you definitely don't have to pair them with a liquid blush, but I just can't get enough of these. I think they're so pretty, and I do feel like they're going to be a staple of mine during the summertime. So I have a few shades. This one is probably my favorite, Pretty Peach. It's just like a beautiful everyday peach, pinky peach. It's really pretty and easy to wear. This one is Cool Coral. This one's obviously a little bit more pink toned. And then I also got the shade Rosy Rosewood last month, which is a little bit more intense on my skin tone, but I just feel like this gives you like the perfect flushed look. So on the left is the peach one, in the center is Cool Coral, and then on the right is Rosy Rosewood. On the cheeks, these just look very smooth. They give your skin like a very natural glow without being over the top. I also feel like they are a good alternative to the Bare Minerals bronzers. I haven't used these in a little while, pretty much ever since I got the Essence products. I mean, I think I might have used them like once or twice, but they haven't been like a big focus of my makeup routine. So I wanted to put them in my everyday makeup drawer and just kind of use them a little bit more and see how similar the formulas are. I feel like the Bare Minerals products maybe have a little bit more pigment to them. You could probably build them up to look more intense on the cheeks. This one is Kiss of Copper. And then I also have Kiss of Pink. These were like my favorite blushes last summer. So I thought this would be a really good time to put them in my drawer and just kind of use them a little bit more. Now that I'm swatching them, they don't feel the same as Essence. I feel like the Essence blushes give a similar look to the skin. This is just one swatch. On the left is Kiss of Pink, and then on the right is Kiss of Copper. But these definitely have like a more, they have like a creaminess to them the Essence blushes don't have. The Essence blushes definitely feel more similar to Hourglass, like that very hard pan, like baked product, whereas these feel a little bit creamier. So I don't think the formulas are very similar now that I'm kind of swatching them side by side, but I feel like the Essence blushes give a similar look to the skin. By the way, I just did a blush declutter not too long ago. I've been going through and decluttering my collection, and I swatch pretty much everything. So if you want to see swatches of like all of my blushes, all of my highlighters, then you can check out those videos. I'll link them below. So for bronzer, I also have this one from Flower Beauty. It's the Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer. I've been reaching for this one quite a bit, so I just decided to put it in my everyday makeup drawer. It has the perfect undertone, and I like this on its own, but I also feel like it works really well to set cream bronzer and just complement it. You don't have to set cream bronzer into place, but sometimes if I don't want like that like dewy texture on my skin, like if I want more of a matte texture, I'll use this product. And because it is so light and it has like that natural glow to it, it just works so nicely with cream bronzer. The cream bronzer I have in my drawer this month is from Say. It's the Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer in Light Bronze. So I did get this one during the Sephora VIB sale as well. I like it. I feel like it is going to be a really nice option for the summer because it is a little bit more of like a matte leaning cream bronzer. Doesn't want to focus. There it goes. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the e.l.f. putty bronzer in a way. I guess it's a little bit creamier than that because this is an actual cream, but I feel like on the skin it gives a similar effect, but this one has a little bit more pigment. Maybe it's a little bit more even. That's just the only formula I could really compare it to that I've tried. But it's very effortless to apply. It stays in place well. So I do think it will be a perfect option for the next few months. Again, I've been using these a lot lately, so I decided to just put them in my everyday makeup drawer. So this was in my everyday makeup drawer last month, or during March. To be honest, I didn't wear it quite that much. It's the shade She's That Girl. I feel like I wasn't wearing like a lot of bold blush, so I was kind of skipping over this one. Again, I'll swatch these for you in just a second. She's So LA is like my favorite blush I don't know if it's my favorite blush of all time. I honestly don't know what I would consider my favorite blush of all time, but this is up there. I feel like it's just like the perfect everyday bronzy neutral. And then I also have this one. She's blushing. I feel like this one is so perfect for summertime as well. It's not quite summertime, but I feel like, I don't know, during this time of the year, I do tend to reach for like more bronzy makeup. Here's the pink one in She's That Girl. Very pink toned, really pretty. I just love these. I know they're a little bit more expensive, but this is a high-end product I truly think is worth the money. I wanted to swatch these two next to each other. So on the left, those two are from She's Blushing, and then these two are from She's So LA. But I like that it is a duo. I think that really just gives you more bang for your buck because you can use the cream or use the powder or layer them, and they look so good on the skin. So for eyeshadow palettes, I have a couple. I have this one. This is the ColourPop Island Vacay palette. I wear this one a lot, but I'm pretty sure it was part of like a holiday collection. I mean, they do have a lot of neutral palettes. I just feel like this is a nice, easy palette to wear because you get your staple neutrals, but you also get a few pinky shades. But I also wanted to use this one. I feel like, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like very warm toned looks again, like almost orangey warm toned over the top instead of something more subtle. So this is the Lucky Penny palette from ColourPop. It's so beautiful. This kind of screams like a summer palette to me. And the formula is just so easy to work with. So I thought I would try to get some use out of this one. And then my favorite, the Natasha Denona Bronze palette, which I love so, so much. I love to wear it. And even though I haven't been doing like very intense eyeshadow looks lately, I feel like this one still comes in handy because even if I throw like a bronzer in the crease, I could go in with any one of these shimmer shadows and I feel like it will look so good. This is the Huda Beauty Empowered palette. I love this one so much. Like I do reach into my my eyeshadow palette collection to grab this one randomly because whenever I want a little bit more of an intense look or something just kind of interesting or fun, this is such a good palette. Not only do you get like your easy staple neutrals, like I could definitely use these shades for a quick look. You also get a bunch of really intense, vibrant shadows too. So this one, I think was it a holiday palette or I think it came out like during the fall, but I don't know. I feel like it would be fun for summer, like a nice sultry summer look. And then I haven't used my Tarte Maneater palette in a little while. This one again came out I think last fall and I loved it so much it really surprised me, but I feel like it has really gorgeous shades for all year round. These palettes, like as I was trying to decide what to use, these are the ones that jumped out at me. Like just very warm, bronzy, fun, summery looks. I don't know why I keep saying summer when I feel like it's not even spring yet. I'm going to film a video on my entire Super Shock Shadow collection. That should be out soon. I'm actually going to film it tomorrow because I've just been wanting to like swatch all of them and compare them for you. I'm not sure how I'll structure that video because I do think a lot of my Super Shock shadows have been discontinued, but I just thought it'd be fun to go through all of them. So anyway, these are the ones I picked. I feel like I don't have like a lot of super interesting colors for May and June, but they just kind of went along with the palettes that I had. So I'll swatch them for you, but again, I don't know if they're all available. I feel like it can still be helpful to swatch them just for comparison. So this one is in the shade For Me. This one is in the shade You're the Prize, and then this one is in the shade Fluffy. So here's what they look like swatched. On the left is the shade For Me, the center is the shade You're the Prize, and then on the right is the shade Fluffy. This one is in the shade Catitude. This is one of my favorites, Mighty Morphin. This one is at Ulta. I just checked recently because I don't know if I was using it in a look or talking about it, but that one is available at Ulta. And then this one has been discontinued, Mycelium. This was part of the Raw Beauty Christie collab. Like, look how rough this one looks. And the one before, because I do use them so much. So on the left is Catitude, in the center is Mighty Morphin, and then on the right is Mycelium. I wish they would bring back Mycelium. That is like one of my absolute favorites, but I do feel like there are other shades that kind of come close. This one is Lightning Bug. This looks so good on the eyes. Like it's this liquid golden copper. It's so gorgeous. And then this one is Secret Garden. I wore this recently. And this one has like a really pretty like pinky bronze look to it. So on the left is Lightning Bug and then on the right is Secret Garden. They're both so beautiful. I feel like these pair so nicely with the Natasha Denona Bronze palette, or if you want the vibe of the Natasha Denona Bronze palette, like of some of the shimmers, these basically look like they could go in the palette. I also put the Flower Beauty Chrome Crush pressed pigments in my drawer as well. I think these are a nice alternative to the ColourPop Super Shock Shadows. Like ColourPop's Super Shock Shadow formula is my favorite, but I know some people don't actually like that formula. If you're not a fan of like that almost cream to powder texture, these might be a little bit more ideal for you. My only issue with these is like, if you have nails, it's really hard to get your finger in there. This one is quartz, this one is copper, this one is amber, and this one is topaz. I have 4 mascaras open. I try to be like a one mascara person, but I'm just not. I feel like the formulas are different, and depending on my makeup look, I'll reach for one formula over the other. So my current favorite right now is the Flower Beauty Dream Warrior. I love this product. I forget when this came out, but ever since they launched it, it's been one of my favorites. This is actually my second tube of it. It just makes your lashes look so dramatic, but it gives you like a lifted, curled effect as well. So on days where I do want the drama, but I also want the lift, this is what I go for. I got the Milk Makeup Rise Mascara in my FabFitFun box. This is a really good option too. I feel like this one also lifts and curls the lashes, but it's maybe a little bit less dramatic than Flower Beauty. I got the Smashbox Superfan Mascara a while ago, but I just started using it fairly recently. I used to love this mascara. Like, it was my favorite mascara for a long time. This one gives you a lot of length and not as much drama, but I feel like it also separates the lashes. I guess I'm kind of in like a phase where I want separated, lifted lashes. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara. I like this one because it's a pretty dramatic mascara. It's funny because for such a long time I thought I hated this. I tried like a mini of it years ago, and the mini wasn't great. And I felt like I always thought it was like such a dry mascara, but I do like it. I think it's not as dry as I thought, and I think it does a good job giving volume and length. I'm trying to think of like different ways to describe these. There are only so many adjectives you can use when you're describing mascara. I have a lot of liquid liners that are currently in my drawer. I don't know, I've been testing out some different formulas, just kind of comparing them. This is somewhat newer to me, the Urban Decay Inks Liner. This one is nice. It's a brush tip, and I feel like it just glides on really nicely. It's not quite as intense as some of my other black liquid liners, but because it is a brush tip and it has this handle, it's very easy to apply. This is the ColourPop BFF liquid liner. I just have the black one. Is this the brush tip one? No, this is the felt tip one. They also have a brush tip one as well. This one's pretty dramatic, but I feel like it bleeds just a little bit. This is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner. This is just one of my favorites. It's a good felt tip liner that does stay in place well. For a while I was only using brush tips, but I feel like felt tips are nice because you almost get more control. Brush tip applicators, like this is the brush tip from KVD, they glide on almost too fast sometimes. This one's almost dried out. I've had this one open for a little while. But I feel like with felt tips, like you have to really like press the product down maybe a little bit more firmly to get it out. So I used to think that was bad because I felt like I was just like dragging it on my eye, but I almost prefer that sometimes. This one is from Kaja. This is the Wink Stamp Wing Eyeliner Pen. I don't know, they all end up looking pretty much the same once they dry down. I didn't even realize I had so many in here. These are all from like last month. They all just ended up in here. This is the Tarte Double Take Awake. I like this one because it's a very thin felt tip, so you can get like a very thin, very small wing, which I feel like is a little bit more difficult with some of the other formulas. And then, I just broke it. And then on the other side, there is like a very light nude, very creamy eye pencil that's great for the waterline. For brows, I just have the Glossier Boy Brow, and then also the NYX Brow Tint Pen in Ash Brown. And then I have 2 eyeshadow primers. This one is from Essence, this one's from Smashbox. This one's a little bit silkier, this one's creamier, but they both do a great job of locking my makeup into place. Okay, so let's talk about lip products. I actually have a lot of lip products in here. I have this little container and then another one. But I just decluttered my lip gloss collection and then also my lipstick collection. That will be up soon. The lip gloss one's already up. But because of that, I feel like, I don't know, I wanted to kind of rotate through my formulas for the next few months instead of buying a lot of new lipsticks, because I just realized I have a ton of great formulas I love. They just don't always get used because I have so many products. So instead of running out and buying new ones during the summer, I'm just going to be using what I have. So this is what I have in rotation for May and June. I have these Item Beauty lip glosses, which I love. These unfortunately are no longer available. They're really pretty. They're basically like a lip oil. They feel very moisturizing and they have the best fruity scent. I also have the Tower 28 glosses. I've actually been using these more lately, and for a little while I wasn't reaching for them quite as much because I just preferred other formulas in my collection, but I do love this formula. Very glossy. Again, it kind of has like that lip oil feel to it. This one is cashew, this one is almond. pistachio, sesame, and spicy. I put the Fenty Gloss Bomb Heats in my drawer as well. These are really nice. They're beautiful. Definitely one of my favorite formulas. I think I have all of them, although I saw they just came out with a clear one too. This one is Lemon Lava. This one is Fenty Glow, Fussy, Hot Cherry, and then Hot Chocolate Heat. And then I also have these lip products as well. So I actually put a few regular lipsticks in here. Sometimes I don't do that, but I kind of want to focus on using actual lipstick over the next few months as well, you know, along with other glossy products. I do have 3 of the Flower Beauty Plump Up Gloss Sticks. And on the left is toasty, the center is spicy, and then on the right is fiery. They're really pretty. They're basically like tinted glossy balms. When I was doing my lipstick declutter, these are some of the formulas that kind of like jumped out at me as some of my favorites that I haven't used in a while. I mean, I have been using the e.l.f. O Face Satin Lipsticks quite a bit since they came out, but these are the 4 shades I really wanted to focus on. So this one is Hustle. I love this formula. It's very, very creamy, really smooth on the lips. Like it really does feel like a high-end formula. This one is No Doubt. This one is Limitless. So those are like the 3 warmer nude shades I have. And then this one is so beautiful, No Regrets. I definitely want to wear red lipstick a good amount over the next 2 months. I used to wear red lipstick all the time, and honestly, I just miss it. When I was first on YouTube, or maybe like a few years into it, there were these 2 CoverGirl red lipsticks I loved so much, and I wore them nonstop. This one is Hustle, this one is No Doubt, Limitless, and No Regrets. I think this formula really is good. I know when they first came out, people were having like almost sticker shock at the price because they're $9. And for e.l.f., that is a pretty significant price increase, but the actual formula really is, I think it justifies that price. I want to swatch these next to e.l.f. so you can see what colors kind of line up, but these are from Milani. These are really nice too. I always forget the official name. They're basically just really good matte lipsticks. So this shade is Pleasure, this shade is Tease, and then this shade is Poppy. So the formulas are definitely different. I feel like those shades are just kind of similar. The Milani formula is very matte. It's very smooth on the lips though, so it feels really comfortable for more of a matte formula. It's not bad to wear at all, and it's very long lasting. And then I have 2 of these ColourPop lipsticks. So this is the Pure Love Luxe Cream Lipstick, or the shade is Pure Love. This is more of like an orangey red, so I thought it would be so fun for the next few months. And then I also have the shade CA Love, or I'm assuming it's like California Love. This is their Velvet Blur formula. And again, just like a really nice nude. So those are the cream lipsticks that I'll be focusing on for the next few months. And then I just have a few lip stains that I really wanted to put to the test. Like these are products I've used before, but I haven't used in a while. So the first one is the ColourPop Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Stain in the shade Big Apple. I haven't used this in a little while, but now that glossy lip stains are kind of making a comeback and I feel like every brand is launching them, I wanted to pull out some of the ones that I already had in my collection. I also have 2 of the Flower Beauty Bitten Lip Stains. I don't think that these are marketed as like, they're not marketed in the same way that a lot of brands are marketing their lip stains these days, like Fenty or Rare Beauty, or e.l.f. has a formula as well, but I feel like it basically performs the same. So as you can see, they all have like that really pretty glossy layer, and then once the gloss wears off, you're left with a stain. And then this is what the stain looks like afterwards. So again, there are a lot of expensive versions of products like this. I do like the Fenty Glossy Stain, but it's always nice to have some more affordable options too. So that's everything I wanted to share with you. Those are all of the makeup products I'll be using for the next few months. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope the swatches were helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll link some of my declutter videos on the screen right now in case you're interested in checking those out, but I'll link them in the description box below as well, and I'll see you on Sunday with a new video. Bye.